Hi, welcome to my new video. I'm gonna do my best with the narration. I'm not really used to it, but in this case I kind of need to do it because it's a little trickier than last time. Basically, UniBeast and MultiBeast are tools that are pretty easy to use. This one is quite easy, but not as easy as UniBeast used to be. So that's what we're gonna do. First, you're gonna need Opcore Simplify, which is the new tool I found out about recently. Obviously, Catalina was a little bit outdated. I needed some new tools to update to Sequoia. So yes, Opcore Simplify, you're gonna need USBtoolBOX, and you're gonna need Propertree. Okay, so last time there was something different. That windows.exe file was, I think it was in the package already, but it doesn't seem to be any longer, so we're gonna have to get it in the release section on GitHub, and it's gonna make the whole Python script work. So there you go, you click on code, download zip, you get all the Python scripts, but you also need that windows.exe from the releases section. Now what we're gonna have to do is just put it in in the same folder, and then we can start with our Opcore Simplify. Um, First, when you start the batch file, it's gonna ask you to install Python automatically, which is something I already did. So it's gonna skip that part. If there are little pauses like this, it's because I completely redone the narration. So that's why. Okay, so here we are. We're gonna select hardware report, but first, what's gonna happen is we're gonna generate one within the same app, the same script. So we're gonna do E for export. So if you look closely, it's gonna say what versions you can install of macOS with your current hardware. So yes, I'm working on a VM. It's just for the video purpose, but obviously you do that on your real machine. So what we're gonna do is press enter. We're gonna select the macOS version. So in this case, it's gonna be Sequoia number 24. Uh, I did not have to really change anything. I know you can, but it worked right off the bat for me. So all I did was build Opencore EFI. Okay, so we're done with that part. We're done with the Opcore Simplify part. There's instructions at the end for the next procedures to complete. So it says, do not use the EFI as is. We have to use USBtoolBOX first to map our USB ports. So like I said, on the USBtoolBOX, we absolutely need that windows.exe. Otherwise, it doesn't work with just Python. Okay, so now it says loaded, but that's from a previous attempt. So we're just gonna ignore it and redo the whole thing. We're gonna do delete saved USB. Now it's done. We're gonna discover ports. Again, it's from a VM, so it's not a real machine. What happens now is we're gonna do exactly what it says again in the other file. It says use native class. So we're gonna change settings, and now it's enabled, but it is natively disabled. So we have to enable it. Then we're good. What we're gonna do is select our ports. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but I always select all ports. Maybe that's not the way, but it works for me. It did work in my previous builds. So that's it. It gets all green. Now we're gonna build the kext. Okay, so it asks us to use a Mac Pro identifier, a Mac identifier. We're gonna use iMac Pro 1, like it says on the screen. Okay, so we're done. We can stop using this as well. Now what we're gonna have to do is get that kext file and put it in our EFI folder that we generated. Okay, OC and kext. Okay, so now we're good. Now we're gonna have to create a snapshot using Propertree. We have to create that snapshot and make sure that we save it, because if we don't, it's not gonna work. To be honest with you, I don't really know what that snapshot is good for, but that's what the tutorial is asking us to do. Okay, so we use propertree.bat, open that config.plist file from our Opcore simplify result folder. There it is. Then we do like they say, I think it's Control R. Yeah. Okay, Control R. Okay, we do select folder, leave it there, and then we have to save it. Now we should be good. So the next part of the video is going to be on a macOS VM. So if you want to make one, you just have to look at my previous video on how to run macOS on VMware Workstation or VMware Player. Welcome to the second part of my video, and thanks for not falling asleep to the sound of my voice. Okay, so we're obviously in macOS High Sierra. This is the lowest requirement for running Opencore Legacy Patcher. We only need this to make a boot disk. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna make a lot of this part go very fast because we don't need to look at the whole process. So there we are. We go to create macOS installer. We click download. We get the last macOS Sequoia version, which is 15.3.1. So I'm guessing I'm just gonna fast forward this part, for there's really no need for you to wait for the old thing. Okay, so we're done with that. All we need to do is to press yes, and we're gonna go through with creating our macOS installer boot disk. So press yes, choose the recently downloaded Sequoia installer, and choose the USB stick. Okay, so I'm just gonna fast forward again this part because it's gonna take about 35 minutes in my VM, so there's really no need to make you go through that. We are now at the final stage of the process. So we're done creating the boot disk for now. All we need is to mount the EFI partition from the boot disk. Obviously, we're not gonna install post-root patches because we're not upgrading a real Mac, we're creating something else. So I use ThinU to do that. Just use the EFI mounting tool, choose your USB partition and click Mount EFI. There it is. So all that's left to do is copy that EFI folder in there. So that's it. You're all set. You now should have a working boot disk to install Sequoia on your PC. Please feel free to leave any comments. Hope you're not going to be too harsh with me. Thanks for watching.